Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Aging and Spirituality podcast. I'm Chris Jensen.
I'm Kathy Lee Taylor.
We are so happy you're with us, and hopefully we'll inspire you today to just live a more fulfilling life and experiencing more of who you are and who your real potential is. So my topic that I want to talk to you about today is, are you focusing on what's wrong or what's right? And recently, I hosted a higher yoga class given by Ramakrishnananda, who's a yoga master and a guru. And since then, I just can't stop thinking about and seeing what a difference a simple shift in attitude makes in my well-being and happiness every day. So I thought I'd share my experience of it with you because I suspect you'll find it an easy and valuable way to have more fun and enjoy life more every day. This is my take on it, so I'm not just sharing what he taught. This is my experience, such as it is. So here's the important attitude and practice. Turn off the imperfection machine. Now, what the heck does that mean? Most people are very aware of their own imperfections, maybe too aware of them. Maybe they think they're more than they are or less than they are. One of the most important underlying concepts in yoga, mysticism, affirmations, etc., is that whatever we focus on a lot is what we bring into our experience. So think about the classic story of a kid riding a bike. If he or she is afraid of running into a tree and they're thinking about that, what do you think they do? Block, right into the tree. I actually had this experience as a child. I was 7 years old, riding my bike, and I had been cautioned by my mother about these trees. I was on the sidewalk, and I'm thinking about, oh my God, I hope I don't hit the tree. I hope I don't hit the tree. And what happened? Bam! I smashed into the tree, knocked me down on the ground. My cousin came and picked me up. He thought I was dead. I was fine. I didn't really get hurt. We walked around a little bit before we went home because we didn't want to fess up what happened. But actually, that's exactly what happened. So I'm well aware of that issue. So this focus on our own imperfections all the time creates a negative kind of energy, and it cuts off the flow of love and joy from our inner self, from our soul. And focusing on your own imperfections sets you up all the time to do the same thing to others. If you're focusing on yours, you're focusing on others. So
Yes, true.
yeah. So here's a question for you. Are you always noticing something other people are doing wrong? If you are,
Right.
thinking about worth changing that. Most relationships start out with people focusing on all the traits the other person has that they find endearing, uplifting. And then what happens? Unfortunately, after a while, the imperfection machine turns on and they end up judging, critiquing something their significant other does, maybe every day. Maybe you're the recipient of a partner or a friend's imperfection machine. This kind of energy is like a kink in a hose. It cuts off the flow of water, and just like the hose cuts off the flow of water, this kind of imperfection seeking cuts off the flow of love and kindness and upliftment. So after hearing about this imperfection machine, this is going to crack me up. I thought, well, I'm not a particularly critical person. However, when I actually decided to contemplate this, I found that I was critiquing many things that I did, and some things I did well, but not perfect. So, well, no one is perfect, right? Then I started reviewing my day, and here's the surprise. Not only was I seeing the imperfections in myself, but I was seeing it in others. Things that I didn't necessarily mention to them, but I found myself critiquing them in my head and having the imperfection machine on. Oh boy, what a conundrum,
Yeah.
you know. But so here's the way out of this. Before we get into a practice, I want to just give this caveat. I want to be clear that turning off the imperfection machine doesn't mean you start to be a Pollyanna who thinks that everything is perfect. It doesn't mean that you don't try to improve yourself or give helpful, uplifting suggestions to others. It just means stop putting all your energy into what's wrong. The idea is to go centered into well-being, to what yogis, Buddhists, metaphysicians, and others say is the peace, well-being, and love that's inside you. Living from that consciousness, that kind of focus. So that's the idea, if we don't want to cut off the flow of that. Last week, Kathy talked about flow, and this imperfection machine is just like a big kink in that flow. So here's the practice or part of it that's been working for me this last week or two. And it's about putting the weight on the other foot. So you sit quietly, meditatively, kind of with your eyes closed, and just say to yourself, let's do this for 1 second here, a couple minutes. All is well. And then you say to yourself, I am fine. My partner, my friend, my employer is fine. I just try to abide in that feeling. Every time you feel the imperfection machine, because now that I've said it, you're probably going to be more aware of it, just like I was. Every time you feel that imperfection machine starting, stop and do this. All is well. I'm fine. They're fine. That's what I've been doing. And I can tell you, I feel happier, more vitality, more loving, clearer in what I see, what I say and do. And here I was thinking I wasn't such a big offender of this. So for me, it's been one of the, really, it's an easy technique, I think. It's a very powerful way to turn off the imperfection machine. It's just calms you down. And another thing you can do, and this one is particularly, I think, powerful, but another thing you can do, and I think a lot of you know this, we've talked about gratitude, but if every time you see an imperfection in yourself or someone else, try to think of something to appreciate instead. You see somebody, putting the fork in the wrong place. And you say, but then think what you can appreciate about this person, all of their goodness. And that'll help. That's another approach, just shifting into appreciation and being gratitude and being grateful for all the goodness there is. But that, all is well and I'm fine, that really works to get you centered.
Yeah. Powerful.
Yeah. Whenever you see the faults in someone else, just stop for the 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, and shift your awareness, shift your consciousness, open the flow from your heart. And I wanted to, I hope this is helpful. It sure was for me. I wanted to end with a quote from a very great yogi, Sri Sharada Devi. When she was a great yogi and a great guru, and she never critiqued anybody. And when she was asked why she didn't criticize people, she said, there are enough people always ready to criticize others. Surely the world will not come to an end if I refrain from doing so.
And she was more peaceful than all of us.
She was way more peaceful than all of us. So, it's worth thinking about. And you can bring great peace into life. And guess what? You bring peace into the lives of the people around you as well by doing this. So try it and see what happens. That's what I love about these things. They're all about experiencing. But try it, and if it works, great. Sure did work for me.
Yep.
I'm happier for these last couple of weeks. So
very freeing for you, for sure. Your
yeah.
energy isn't all tied up thinking about what's wrong with everybody else in the world.
Yeah, what's wrong with yourself and what's wrong with everybody else?
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't. It absolutely does not. So
yeah.
So there we go.
It's a great technique. I'm gonna do it.
All right. So thank you all so much for joining us. Let us know if you have questions, and we're looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.